Hey folks, it's Late Brain here, and welcome back to another NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs on EA Sports. I'm Late Brain, and I'm Son of Beast. This time it's Game 2 of the Pennsylvania Showdown. Now, as I mentioned before, the last part of the game happened to be Rickard Rakell, the game-winning overtime since Game 1, and after this tie from Thomas Novak, this was the craziest part of the game we've ever seen of what it takes. But now, they go head-to-head, and they're heading off to Philadelphia at face against the Flyers at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Tonight's starting commentators we have it across is Zoe Troop along with Lightbulb, and the third commentary of the crew is Fan, and the center box I give a warm welcome is of course Chris the Beast in Philadelphia. And tonight's starting goaltenders, we have a great matchups here between Stuart Skinner and Dan Vladar. We'll see y'all folks later for the intermission reports, and if necessary, we'll have an overtime show, and finally, the post-game show. This matchup is definitely the hard ones to beat, but anybody can take home and move on to the next round. Let's see what it takes to have it all good matchups between Crosby and Travis Konecny. Now it's time to get started. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, next on EA Sports. Enjoy the game, folks, and let's see who takes it all. Let's see how that goes. Enjoy, everyone. It's a good day to be here in Philadelphia. Hi folks, I'm Zoe Troop, and I'm here with my broadcast partners, along with Lightbulb and Fan. And joining in center ice is Chris the Beast. Well, we are ready for hockey, and it's about that time here at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Puck is dropped, and we are underway here in Philadelphia. Starting boots of the goaltenders ran a range between Stuart Skinner and Dan Vladar. Starting players we have is Stanley. He now looks to Stanley. He now gives it over to Forster. Forster will swing things across, now finding to Zegras. Zegras looks over to Forster. Forcing the pass over to Tippett. Tippett gets back to Forster. First shot for Zegras. Shot is saved up by Stuart Skinner. Now Russ will have it across. Forster with the rebound. He now finds Ristolainen. Ristolainen with the puck, now carried over to Forster. Forster change over to Sanheim. He now finds Ristolainen. On a shot, one is blocked up by Sidney Crosby. Gets a rebound by Philadelphia. Here's Sanheim, he now finds it over to Zegras. Zegras looks to Ristolainen and goes right back over to Zegras. Keeps moving around for the puck here for Philadelphia. Right toward his own. Get big bumped up, and Forster with the rebound. There's a lot of big mistake, and happens to be anybody that I know this is not a start off what they really wanted to do with it. But anything that they really changed it, they just try to get the shots on going. They just need a lot of goals they can. And joining us with my third commentary partner, I give a warm welcome to Fan, joining us here in Philadelphia with the big tonight of the game at the Battle of PA. How do you see afterwards and after the game one?
Well, it turned out to be amazing. I really enjoyed it. And so much how far it ever has to come by. I really love seeing things from Cam York, Sidney Crosby. You get it. It's nothing that they really did for. But most likely, we really are super pleased to see all these players. I mean, there's so much to give everybody respected to. Not priority, but one game must have happened. That's everybody's game line. You know, everybody's been enjoying it, and I really do too. This is definitely going to be a one exciting game of the matchup if they can handle it.
Yeah, same thing with there too. I mean, anybody can be playing it afterwards. Since 2018, they definitely beat each other. We won last time. And then now, 2026, that was definitely what they did. To have that rebounded in and then rematch it up once or twice.
Exactly. Yeah. I love seeing things. It's going to be a great night.
Big stop over there. That one is carried away, and Travis Konecny's got it back. Teresa's paddle along the puck. Martone's got it right across. The rebound by Erik Karlsson. He now finds Rickard Rakell and now has it over to Brian Rust. Pittsburgh back in the offensive zone. He'll flick that out off the glass and rebounded by Parkey. Here's Parkey to send to Gattaz. Gattaz sends over to Drysdale. He looks to Mitchcock. Keeps his own shot. Saved by Swordskinner. Witherspoon goes right in. Take a little bit of a back. Knuckle down by Noah Cortez. Witherspoon with the rebound. Here's Brian Russ with under 15 minutes in the first period of the game. Russ shoots it. Saved by Davidar. Now Zieler will have a chance. Over to Barkey. Barkey knocked it away. Finds Mitchkov. Mitchkov will look over to Zieler. Sends it over to the shot and a save by Skinner. Slows it down a piece and now here's Samuel Giroux. He'll send a deep pass over to DeWar. No offside on Pittsburgh. Here's Andre for Philadelphia. There's a smackdown here in the Philadelphia territory. Right to Mitchkov. Outside loan to Zieler. Rebound by Mitchkov. He looks to Ristolainen. Ristolainen finds Barkey and a shot chase. Saved by Skinner. This is really what they are inventing it to do. And he's really getting it all with a night needed on the shot. This is a lot of handling to do everything. But when Dan Bedard does it, this is where he was going to get it all to a sudden lurch. Skinner really had a lot of problem with that. Just look at Blake Lizette, and this is the big knockdown here in the Philadelphia territory. We noticing that how that happened, and that one is broken it out. Big battle along the range doesn't mean to seem to be carrying it for. Indeed so. I mean, I know that's definitely what everyone is expecting it for Blake Lizette. He would almost have it way off, but that one would almost be causing the trouble with that. And now I send over to center ice. I give a warm welcome is Chris the Beast. And joining us here is Trevor Zegras. Thanks, guys. Trevor Zegras is only the one powerful startup to be playing this on his own performance. Since after playing for Anaheim Ducks, he now wants to see how he can definitely hang things on. The big way about it and changing it over from Trevor Zegras, he's mixing a lot of great tape-to-tape zones. This powerful enough as a pass-off and really turning to be how imperfectionary than he'd done it before. What Trevor Zegras been able to do for is give some pass-offs and get a little sharp edges. This is a little bit of a one-tip motion that we are watching things on for Trevor Zegras, and how playable will he do? This is a lot of big confidence on the scoring, and the range drive may not be anybody. I'll be finding out about Trevor Zegras with the start of it from the tape-to-tape drive. And now let's go the other way. Chris the Beast, your take for Sidney Crosby. Thank you again, Zo Truman. Now what I wanted to say about it, I want to talk about Sidney Crosby. They're one of the legendary players, and we always got to say he has a backhand beauty. The captain is really doing a lot of great focus on that. The head coach has explained it for Sidney Crosby. He makes it perfectionary. This is why I've been really watching things on. I am the fan favorite of seeing things from the great captains of Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, and so many others. This is one of the big greats since many years. And in that case, we noticing that's definitely what we really have to watch on to see if anything gets through. I'll be keeping an eye out here for Sidney Crosby right on the line. That's you guys. All right, thanks, Chris the Beast, and here's Dvorak. Right the other way to Drysdale. Here's Cam York. Outside now, Drysdale. Drysdale shots blocked by Chitnikov. Philadelphia back on defense is Chitnikov. Chitnikov swinging around the net. Drysdale will have it over across the Tippett. We passed the midway mark in the first period. No score in the game. Tippett. Changing it over a bit. Now finds Forster. He looks to Sanheim and now finds Ristolainen. Off to Zegras. Zegras. Shoots one. Saved by Skinner. Sidney Crosby sends it over to Noel Kyrie. Kyrie stick lifted. Poked it out. Now Owen Tippett's got a rebound for Philadelphia. Here they come on the fast break rush to Trevor Zegras, who scores! First goal starts for Trevor Zegras. They got to start with a 1-0 lead. I have to feel about Trevor Zegras. He got a good pass from Owen Tippett. That's the blank range by Clinton Priest. Just look what happens with this play afterwards. So Trevor Zegras has a start up and you're looking at it ahead. Nowhere to be cleaning it. That's really where it's going to take off to a start for Trevor Zegras. He had that quick release, and the big snapper just goes right past the goaltender. Okay, you see what happened with this one here. And watch what Trevor Zegras makes. That one was a wide open, and it goes right in the pad and then right into the net. You really are watching this on for a whole entire point of it. I know this is not the change of what they really have to do for it, but it seemingly everybody's been trying to do patiently. This offense is going to definitely do a lot of strategy. Every said about it before, Trevor Zegras, a start off. Here's Carlson. That broke up by Mitchkov. And here's the Barkey. Oh, Barkey's going to get it! Stop by short skip. Thomas Novak will send it over to Weatherspoon with 8 minutes remaining. Wow, what a great chance here. I mean, Barkey would have had that first goal to get it in there. Barkey to pass to Mitchkov. Times it too soon, and Mitchkov will have it over again to say hi. Here's Thomas Novak. The other way for Pittsburgh. Finds Weatherspoon. He looks to Raquel. Raquel flings it. Pad kicked out by Tamadol. Rebound by Katay. And goes right to Andre. Here's Andre to find Zero.
Assisted by number 74, Owen Tippett.
Right to the boards. Rebound by Barkey.
11 minutes, 18 seconds.
Barkey kicks it over again to Luke Littman.
Jeremy Ziegler's his first goal, and the second in the playoffs. Assisted by Owen Tippett.
Finds Andre. Andre looks to Zero. The other shoots one. Trying to get a deflection from half away, but that one is kicked out. So off the board to Brian Russ. Another big poke check here for Philadelphia. Now Hathaway's got it. Right toward the zone in Pittsburgh territory. Hathaway will send it over to Drysdale back on ice. Drysdale in the shot and a save by Short Skinner. He knocked down by Weatherspoon. 5:30 remaining in the first period. This is really like a big punch-off. There's a lot of grapes going on. And he scores! There's 2 in the first period. That was Luke Littman. Well, that quicks back-to-back scores on this goal. And nowhere you can get it through. Hathaway suddenly combines Luke Littman with a tip-in. Just look what happened when he gets going with the offense. Then Drysdale gets that deflected by Luke Littman. He gets a little bit of a reach, and that's a little bit of poke check, but there's some miscommunications for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I know where this is going. That's Luke Littman with the deflection. Seemingly like there's a lot of start off, and we're really showing up. Luke Littman with the first start of a goal, he really took it all. He wanted to start from here. After the winning faceoff draw for the Pens, here's Zegras. He's off to Tippett. Fast on wheels again. Pass to York. Finds it over now. Find to Drysdale. Drysdale. Back to Tippett. He looks over to Zegras. Zegras finds Tippett. Tippett. It's the Forcer, and now again to Tippett. Tippett to Zegras. Zegras. Poked it away. Now Connor DeWar will have it over out. Penguins will fling it around the net. And a rebound by Forster.
41, Luke.
The Flyers are back in offense zone as Drysdale gets that send over to Zegras. Zegras knocks out by DeWar. Rebound by Konieczny. They'll back things up and now back to Drysdale. Nice move here by Jamie Drysdale. Corner the wall. That's Konieczny. Will send it away to York. York finds Drysdale. Drysdale back to York. York to Drysdale. Flings it to Marteau. Backhander shoots. Another save by Short Skinner. York's got it. It's a cross now. Again to Marteau. And he looks at Drysdale. That's big hit by Brazil. Justin Brazil with the sprinting rush. Gav York got it away with that. Rebound by DeVore. He'll give a swing off to Marteau. Pauses the brakes for a moment. Outside zone, Drysdale. Stanley, he shoots. Misses wide. Off the pad it goes for the goaltender. Well, that really is going to definitely put a slam to it. I wasn't really sure about it was going to happen. Samuel Giroux has it over to Latay. We're nearing in the first intermission report. Ryan Russ on a straightaway chance, saved by Vador. Vador is going to stop one here with under 90 seconds remaining in the first period. Don't forget, folks, we got a first intermission coming up for you between LifeRing and Centerpiece. That will be joining us here later at the end of the first period. That's first intermission next after this. Travis Sanheim will have it again to Tim Hathaway. Garnet Hathaway finds it over to Kovic to lane it. Down to a final minute in the first period. Sanheim. That's when sweeps it up. Luke Littman. We'll get a reset by Hathaway now by Whistle Lane. Took a smackdown on the spark plug. And it's Brian Russ. He will give it over to Chiknikov. They're really spending so much time afterward. Pittsburgh Penguins are just really wanting to dagger this out. This is a lot of big kid of the chain. I mean, I don't think so. Sanheim outside of Couturier. Here's Ristolainen. He can't make the move, and it goes back to Brian Russ. Off to Kindle. Kindle shoots, and saved by Bedard, and that will end the first period. So it starts with the
first period. Your
Philadelphia Flyers. First intermission starts right now. See you folks later for the second period. Hey everyone, it's Lightbring here, and welcome to the first intermission of the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Starts with the Philadelphia, it's 2-0 over Pittsburgh. Got a good, strong in communications, and better effort doesn't mean anything. Now let's go over to you, Centerpiece, for your first period statistics right on board. Well, I got a lot of things good to say about this here, Lightbring. I mean, startup is really not able to be cleanly, and only 96 over 92. They got a good start for Philadelphia. They're moving the puck around, but there's a lot of poke checks here, and they're really starting to get a lot of terror and flares to start things for Pittsburgh. I don't know how this is going to change, but they really are starting to get a lot of hits in the game. 9 over 7, that was Pittsburgh, and then it was 5 over 3 face-off wins. That's going to be putting on rolling on the show for the Battle of PA. They're really starting to get that one with the first goal-ahead goals between the range, and I know what they're watching on. I mean, you know, that's definitely what everybody is really expecting to see, how they were changing it up. I mean, no power contest, nothing is changing it up simple. We really love seeing things for Pittsburgh to try to have another step. And now let's go into the action trackers, as we've got some great first goals in the game. 1 goal for Trevor Zegras, and the other goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. We've seen so much of the others, and what they mean to say now is Trevor Zegras got a good look after Owen Tippett. This is why the goals happen to be Luke Glendening with the deflection. That part of our first goals in play doesn't start at all again. They really are looking to get that one apiece. Let's have your takes about Philadelphia Flyers. Centerpiece, how do you see it? Well, true to believe, honestly, that Philadelphia Flyers starts with Trevor Zegras. That's a great connection in the feed to have that one point blank in the range by the crease. That is right into the net. I mean, and the goaltenders were saying that it is a no goal. Well, they've got a good clean look. They got to start off for Trevor Zegras, and that's the first goal they start off for Philadelphia. And as for Luke Glendening, the other hand of it, he got that tip deflected in there. That one really started up to do for anything. No better place. There's just definitely why we really look to see how Flyers knock it off to a good start. How about you for Pittsburgh Penguins there, Lightbring? Well, this is my question. And I know that the shot of a range doesn't really mean to do that. Brian Russi had 2 of each. No plays in this goal happened to be with Pittsburgh, but therefore, they will start finding their way to having answers back in the second period. Hopefully there's a great way to change it often, and I'm sure they'll definitely will have any luck at that point. And what's your statistics here for after the second period, and what's your prediction? I'm going to say this was going to be a keep for sure, and I'm saying 3-1 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's what Philadelphia rule. How about Lightbring? I want to see a tie game. I want Pittsburgh to see if they can get a goal back, and sure, yes, they definitely need to tie things up. It's a go back for real. Well, this is definitely what the comeback is. Battle of PA continues. We really are sure enough that it's going to be a one lucky game. Oh yeah, definitely is. We go back down to Philadelphia as the first intermission comes to the end. So Trip and others, it's all yours. See you folks later for the second intermission after the second period. Now back to the game. Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period in Philadelphia. 1 period down, 2 more to go. As we start the second period, as ice is all freshened up and ready to go. All right, let's have your first period recap as I'll send it over to Lightbulb and you, fan, for your thoughts. Start off having to be that great. I mean, I love seeing how Philadelphia Flyers got a good hustle. This is a big racing and bounding that they're really starting to do it oftenly. I'm very sure that the Philadelphia Flyers are really expecting to say they got a good start of it. Not for anybody that really wanted to change it, but hey, as long as you can expect it for now, that's Philadelphia way. They started out with the first goal right often in time. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I'm really sure that
hoping that Pittsburgh Penguins might find an answer back, and that may be the truth if they can get it through. Let's see how they answer.
And speaking of being the answers, here's Jichikov, and that one is broken again by Philadelphia. They lose their control, now finding to Martone, and here they are. In the Pittsburgh territory is Martone. Martone finds York. York looks to Drysdale. Drysdale to find Martone. Martone with that pass over to Forster. They keep moving around the puck again. Knocked him with the big can. That's on Justin Brazeau.
Man, Justin Brazeau, he's really giving a knockdown to a sparking 0. No better stand. That's definitely a knockdown.
Firing a shot is blocked up and rebounded by Philadelphia. Tyson Forster. Over right toward the yard and scores! What a backhand beauty! Daniel, his first goal in the playoffs.
I never noticed how Cam York is definitely getting that backhander. That was really right into the net. And watch where you've seen things here before. You off to Cam York and you just right into the net. This one is almost going to be a turnover, but not for long. Cam York is making that a great backhand shot. That one beats Stuart Skinner. I love this reaction, how there's some changes in him. That one is right into the guard, and that one is right toward the stop, and bang! Right into the net. I mean, you really have to see this about what Cam York is really doing for him. That's Forster. He gets a first assist in the playoffs. That's really what they're starting it for. 3-0 is a number.
Cortez has got it that time. He now finds Cecilio. Philadelphia back in control. Goes knocked down by the wall. Sparky with the rebound. And then we'll be changing it over to Evgeny Malkin. Malkin, a pass to Novak. That shoots wide and rebound by Malkin. Gerard shoots. Off in a deflection of the traffic zone. Cortez gets it back. Back to Barkey. 15:50 remaining in the second period. To start off, we're nearing a 5-minute mark in the start. Mitchkov looks to Barkey. Zieler. Right to Cortez. They keep moving things around, now finds to Barkey. Barkey finding Mitchkov. Mitchkov fires it, swing, and the save by Skinner. 15-14 remainder in this second period. They're really starting to get another good goals for Philadelphia, but for Pittsburgh, they've got to find rooms for answers. But he wins the draw. He looks over to Sanheim. Stick lifted by Chitnikov. Behind the back, Couturier. Back to Ristolainen. He looks over to Sanheim. Half away. Shoot, save by Skinner. Samuel Girard looking for 4-0. And now it's the war. Clears his zone around the net and rebounded by Sanheim. Sanheim will now have it again to Glendening. Knocked down with the hit here in Philadelphia. Glendening waits. Back to Couturier. He gives to Ristolainen. Looks to Sanheim. Sanheim to Glendening. That one is broken up as Girard gives to Akurier. Akurier poked it up. Here's a fire shot. Saved by Lenault. To where? Outside Girard. Girard shoots. Blocked by Sanheim. Poked it the other way. Sanheim trying to get it out. And they got the rebound. Pretty close now for me. That block shot really started to be on to me. Philadelphia got a little bit of a swing in it. Now they're drinking it back in the nine. Of course they did. Well, I meant to say about Sanheim, you're really starting to get a lot of good favors in there. A big between the game. Sanheim had his Drysdale. He looks over to Martone. Got to get Sanheim. Sanheim swings and a save by Stuart Skinner. Waltersville will find Brian Russ, who 12 minutes in the second period. Rickard Rakell. Nowhere to get through traffic. Dvorak. Off to Drysdale. Drysdale flings around the net. Owen Tippett. And outside is York. York gets the puck over to Konecny. Right to Tippett. Tippett swings to Drysdale. Drysdale. He should save by Skinner. Frees things up a bit with only 11:14 remaining in the second period. And guys, talking about this one here between the goaltenders, how do you feel about Dan Vladar playing in the postseason? Well, I got a great start of it, and I might say that Dan Woodari's been like showing up as crowd favorite. No standpoint, I mean, I'm just really saying that Dan Woodari is doing extra long work career of his goal. He really is doing everything. When no matter what happened with that, you really are sure enough that you got a good eye on it. Over by Stuart Skinner, and we see him in the last postseason as the Edmonton Oilers goaltender. This time he really went in to say how he can able to hold things on. If you wanted to get right in for the picking of the look, hopefully that Stuart Skinner might have to show things off for the American team to keep things from rolling. I know this is no chance, but now you just really have to make sure you have no time to panic. Delayed penalty is going to be on Pittsburgh, and it will stop that in play as there's a cross-checking on Justin Braceau.
Pittsburgh number 16 is a 2-minute minor penalty for cross-checking.
Just look what happened to Justin Braceau. Trevor Zegras is waiting around. He just needs some help. He just needs a lot of time to get that puck in range. But what happened to Justin Braceau? He got knocked over. That cross-checking is going to definitely send a power play for Flyers.
So the Flyers will start their first advantage on the power play with the first penalty kill Pittsburgh. Well, it needs to be now that Philadelphia needs to get that first start off on the power play advantage. They really need to start getting a lot of headways to have some room.
Number 16,
Under Victor Mark in the second period, this is just a lot of big example that they need to start moving it in. Just a quick motion and try to look for a power play goal.
2-minute minor penalty on number 16. Justin Braceau for
Philadelphia back in the offensive zone. He now finds Contez. Contez waits. Looks to Marteau. Finds Contez. Contez looks to Ristolainen. Back outside is Mitchkov. Mitchkov now finds it over to Contez, and he gets back to Ristolainen. To Mitchkov. Saved by Stuart Skinner. Ryan Shea will have it over to DeWare. DeWare will clear that zone back in the Philadelphia territory. Scooped up along the boards by Mitchkov. Send a deep pass over. Now Marteau will get a new line group change for Philadelphia. Tippett. Swing and a club. Save made by Skinner. Under 9 minutes in the second period, they'll have another puck drop ready. No better standpoint, only 95/93. A little bit of ups and downs here for Philadelphia. And Pittsburgh backing up in the racing offense. They might need to change things quickly. Well, they got to watch what they're doing for. I mean, no quicker than the point of it. They really need to start getting a lot of strengths in there. You know, it's not really what they need to start off with. And Jamie Drysdale needs to get things right in the start of the target. You know, nobody is really trying to do everybody a favor. But when you're playing this for the Flyers, you want to make sure that you really have a lot of executions in there with some passing effectiveness to get over from Pittsburgh. This is just enough timing to get through it. Here's a send it pass. Drysdale shoots. Saved by Skinner. 19 seconds for the Flyers power play and 8:14 remaining in the second period of the regulation period. Now they're set and ready to get another puck drop ready. 3-0. They're on a cruise control for Philadelphia. Zegras shoots. Blocker saved by Stuart Skinner. Drysdale now finds the Tippett. Tippett looks over to Knudsen. Knudsen now finds it over to Drysdale. Dvorak flings it, and a save made by Skinner. Power play's over for Philadelphia. And now that will turn to be a full strength for both teams.
What a save. It happened to be with Stuart Skinner. He really even had to change it over again to try to make it count fair. I mean, no point. That's definitely changing it up and out of the range. No question would do for things if they really started to get confidence on their own. Power play goals didn't work so well. Yeah, I mentioned to say about it before. I know what you really are doing it for. But, hey, talk about this here, Fanny. I mean, talk about this, fan. You really have to say about this. When you're playing for Philadelphia, you just have to do a lot of power plays. No better energy would do the thing. If you really are playing for Skinner or any players at the Pittsburgh, you just need to make sure you have the right track.
Now to win by Sidney Crosby, here's Samuel Girard. Girard now finds Shitnikov. Shitnikov slings in, saved by Dan Woodar. Ristolainen again to Contez. Now Contez finds Barkey. Barkey right toward the corner of the wall. Get back to Ristolainen. Dan one-time shot stopped by Skinner. 5:45 left to go in the second period. They still need to get a lot of change-offs for Pittsburgh. So a lot of racing bounding on the defense. Still no energy to get from the crowd here. Still 3-0. Crosby with the back-to-back running faceoffs. Russ now finds Crosby. Crosby. Backhander shot. Oh, to Chitnikov. What a save by Davidar. That really is almost going to make that one banging it out. That one really got lucky here for a goaltender. He could definitely try to keep that one quick here. Samuel Giroux. Right to Letang. He looks to Crosby. Crosby to Chitnikov. Finds Crosby. Crosby shoots. Save made by Ladar. 2-time stop by Ladar. Tenacious battle along the puck. Crosby shoots. Tries to get right to the backhand. Beauty shot. And that one's way too soon and outside of the net. Carlson in. Stop by Ladar. Under 5 minutes. What a crowd favorite. No better energy but do for things. Davidar, he's just like keeping it over it, and the shot of it makes a save. 27 over 17 shots on goal, and Philadelphia trying to end the mark. Carlson with a shot that's blocked up into one of his defenders, and that one will skate out of his own, and it'll be an icing on Philadelphia. 3:43 left to go in the second period, and now they're ready for another puck draw. See how the battle races out? Pittsburgh was one of the favorite, but seemingly that before, only what happened with that, Philadelphia is one of a better favorite. I mean, there's no better obligation how do you have to change for it, and it's really when it changes over. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the Philadelphia's been a better team and better than over Pittsburgh. We really are hating it so much. No better offense would never do things for a step. And I mentioned before about St. Ivan, they're really starting to get a lot of hard muscles along the way. And sure enough, they could definitely be hitting it. A lot of crucials afterwards. They really just try to keep in flaring it, and they really wanted to take it over from Philadelphia. And probably the Flyers wanted to take over Pittsburgh too. I mean, they really wanted to start watching out for trouble numbers. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I've always been loving to see a Philadelphia can. I mean, no better change up would ever do for things.
Force just got that puck. 1:40 to go in the second period. And off to DeVore. DeVore plays it deep, and a save by Skinner. Here's Kindle. Knocked it right toward the wall. Right to DeVore. Another big pass miscued here for Philadelphia. Down to the final minute of the second period. DeWitt shot block.
Second period of playoffs.
Rebound by Jamie Drysdale. Give it to York. Sends all the way around the net. Zegras. End zone. Save by Skinner. Tip it. Right to York. He looks over to Drysdale. Drysdale to Forster. Back to York. York swings. Save by Skinner. Zegras up. And stopped by Skinner with 11 seconds in the second period. They're sure not going to be able to easy enough, but that is a knockdown in their favorite. No better pressure. Makes sense. Just look at Justin Brazeau. This knockdown hits it in with just only 8. I mean, I wouldn't have any complaints if Justin Brazeau or one of the guys can definitely knock things out. We're approaching the second intermission as we've got 10 seconds on the mark. That'll be underway next after this. Kadas wins the draw. York. They got to find a shooting. Mitchkov, shot, stop with Skinner, and taken away by Letang. That will end, and 3-6 here out of the second period. Philadelphia looking to tie the series after the third. It's now 3-0 Flyers. Third period will be underway shortly after the second intermission. Be back with you soon after the break. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs of the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Hey everybody, welcome to the second intermission of the NHL 26 on EA Sports of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We got a great ones here, and it's now 3-0 Philadelphia. Nice strong takes. I mean, they're sure enough that they could definitely try to keep things on for a wrestling. Now let's have it over to you, Son of Beast, about the second intermission statistics. His score has been over droughting and afterwards, and watch what happens this passing effectiveness. This is dropping That happens because the Pittsburgh Penguins had a 92.6% over 92.5. That's Philadelphia. They're starting to get that knocking down quickly over in the range than the other. Philadelphia Flyers could have had another power play chance. They would have had that great goal. But no way they did for. They definitely got blundered up and they just turned things over. No better way than doing it for had definitely turned it over to do for plenty of airtime in it. This action is definitely going to change things for Philadelphia. But for Pittsburgh, man, where are you going to need to find the answer? Hopefully we'll see things would get a closer game, down by 1, and I'm not sure how this will respond out. We'll see if this gets in there. I'm waiting for this one for Philadelphia to get a win and then go back to Pittsburgh. All right, let's go over to the action trackers this time. Now that time, you see things here. A lot of big shots in the goal, and there's a goal in range, and lots of things going on for Pittsburgh. They just couldn't get that shot in there. Jamie Drysdale has now 2 assists in the playoffs in the game. Talk about a tongue twister here. I mean, Jamie Drysdale, and there's another one for Luke Lennoning, and there's plenty of actions here. No better than ways than that. Let's have your takes here about the Philadelphia Flyers. How do you see about that there, Beast? They've been killing it, and they've really did so much better. I mean, what I meant to say about this, Philadelphia, is the hard way to do for. Now they really are kicking it up enough. This is a knockdown to a courtesy. I'm really sure that Philadelphia might be the better favorite over Pittsburgh. How about you, Leifring, about the Penguins since no scores in the game, stopped by Dan Vladar with an unlucky bounce? Oh, man. I would have seen Sidney Crosby. This backhand beauty. He really would have to make it stronger. I don't know if this is going to definitely change it oftenly. They really are starting to look for that first goal. You need to see this. And believe in me, I want to see that first goal for Pittsburgh. They need to tie this up. I want to see 3-3. All right, I know what you're saying this, Leifring. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking it's going to be a 4-2 game for Philadelphia and then go back to game 3 and do it one last time. Oh, man, I don't know. I'm not a Philadelphia guy. Don't judge me. I'm more of a Shore, and that's why I had to choose Pittsburgh to win it over Philadelphia. That's my take. All right, we'll see how this happens here, guys, and looks like we'll see overtime show next or post-game show if necessary after the game. So the second intermission is done. We'll be back with you soon. Now, time for the third period. Guys, time to see who takes over and win for everything. Back to the game in Philadelphia. For those of you just tuning us in, we're ready. The third period comes down to this. And this has been a wildest game so far, Battle of PA, just like in 2018, and now, just like this year. We are ready and we are underway starting now. All right, guys, about the second period. What do you see afterwards from Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, guys? Well, I meant to say that Philadelphia just had it started up. They really are kicking a range in between. They're really starting to do everything. This is a lot of big controls afterwards. I mean, no better than that. I mean, who goes with the favor of this? Philadelphia has been a one knockoff over Pittsburgh. I'm really sure that this is going to be a tie series game. I'm really waiting to see how this will change. Well, hopefully there will be. I mean, I don't know if Pittsburgh might have to answer that response, but this will have to change everything that will do for it. Sharvis Egros gets knocked down, rebounded by Tippett. Tippett will swing it to Ristolainen. Oh, right to the bang of the wall. Rebound by Forster. Thanks to a kicking helping out. Back to Ristolainen. He shoots and saved by Scarrow. Here's Shitnikov the other way. Send it pass to Carlson. He looks to Anthony to Mampa. Mampa rolling in. Fire. Save made by Vladar. He now finds Marteau. Stops and frozen it. Now finds to York. He's up to Konecny and stop by Skinner. What a comfortable saving plays by Pittsburgh. This is no way that you can definitely do for Stuart Skinner, who really had ducking it out. That's really right into the range. This is another great play stopping effort
They change it oftenly. Canenzi! Oh, he went down right toward the board. And back to Kindo. I'm saying, this is another big smackdown for Pittsburgh. They couldn't get it over with. Stuck on the pad by Ladar. Only 16:01 remaining in the third period. We're ready for another puck drop. Check what happened. You see this. The last part of it, when you notice by Trevor Zegras, this is another great save by Skinner. And a lot of big actions here. There's pretty much the cover and responses. Check what happened with the last one in the first period. You got Trevor Zegras waiting it in, and then pulls it out. That's the first period recap play that you really are watching things spin. I mean, this is a lot of great responses. Trevor Zegras, you got to get a lot of energy credit. So a lot of time left to be played in the period. Pittsburgh trying to look for answers. The win by Kitez. He looks at Andre now by Kitez, and he looks to Barkey. Barkey slows things down a bit. Finds Michkov. Here's Michkov. Outside turn to Andre. Andre to Zieler. Broken it up the chain here for Pittsburgh. Now Andre. Swings to Michkov. Michkov knocked down by Raquel. And back to Andre. Barkey again over to Zieler. Zieler gets squished from the wall. Michkov will have it over again to Kitez. Kitez. Back to Andre. Here's Zieler. Should save by Stuart Skinner. Oh, somebody has planted the net. It's Barkey. First goal in the playoffs. I think someone had caught it up that way. I mean, I think that Denver Barkey was right in there. I mean, someone got pushed over, and yes, one of the defenders has been knocked over. Watch what happens with this swing. That one gets pushed down, and then now you get the goal for Philadelphia. You see that push here? That's on Gerard, and then somebody had nothing in there. That's a big mistake for Philadelphia, for Pittsburgh. I mean, not for Philadelphia. They're really starting to get that one. A lot of big smackdowns on the goal. I couldn't tell you. They've done it better than that. Well, that's pretty much a lot of miscues afterwards. They're not seemingly that they're starting to do for some lot of opening nets to the goal. And by that point, this is really what they're missing it out.
Here's Andre to find the pass to Glendening. Glendening. Broken by Raquel. Now Raquel will swing it to Thomas Novak. He's up to Gerard. Gerard. Knocked out. Andre with the rebound again. Finds to Zieler. He's over to Couturier. Couturier again to Glendening. Slides back a bit. Trying to give the pass to Drysdale, but it's back to York. Chris Letang again to Noel Courier. Watching a 2-on-1 opportunity. And he scores. Sidney Crosby. That gets beaten over by Damodar, and they're on the board.
Well, there you go. Sidney Crosby was getting a good start off of it, and that is a big range. Check what happened with the 2-on-1. You got a little bit of a connection by Jamie Drysdale, and he just had it faded. I mean, he just could definitely, he would almost have to slap shop it, but then that was a little too late. Sidney Crosby was getting that range into the goal. Beating by Vidar is really easy. Oh, that's a piece of cake afterward. See how that Sidney Crosby weaves? He ends up blanking on a shot. Jamie Drysdale tries to block it by Sidney Crosby, but then things didn't work out so well. So therefore, they're on the board.
4-1's a game here for Philadelphia. And over Pittsburgh, they're trying to look for some answers in for Pittsburgh to get back in the ring. Broken and sick by Brian Russ, and Zegras will have to swing it again over to Drysdale. Sidney Crosby trying to look for two. Drysdale on the rush. Off to Cam York. You'll flick it out. Icing's on Philadelphia. 12-19 remaining in the third.
Time to go. 5:21 remaining in the third period.
A lot of games going on here. Coming up next, we'll have us at 9:30 p.m. Well, the Knights are taking on the Utah Mammoths at T-Mobile Arena. And following along with tomorrow night's game, only one game will appear. And that means it's the Ducks and the Oilers that will be game number 3 on the other side of it at Rogers Place. And if game necessary, if we have game 3, we'll have the Flyers and the Penguins for the start of game number 3 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the one last battle for PA. Before the winners advances and moves on to face against Carolina Hurricanes and Raleigh. We're still in it. Right to Tippett. Tippett, backhander. Easy save by Skinner. And we'll have that freezing up with under 11 minutes.
This is the number 55, and Will Courier. Now my number 58.
Flyers doing so well.
It's
4-1
2
over
seconds in the
Pittsburgh.
third period of the playoffs. Sidney Crosby his first goal in the
Goal,
playoffs.
wins the draw.
Assisted by Will
Here's the
Courier
lane.
and Bristol Tang.
Fine saying hi.
7:02
Knocks
in
it
the
to a
third period
square.
of the playoffs.
And rebound by Canensi. You're really going to have to do a lot of every smackdowns afterward, you know? I mean, you have to say this. I mean, I could be broken up or any other pieces if the puck was flying across to me or defender's knocking me down. I mean, I have no words for you. No blame to do for. You saw that coming? Now you don't. Indeed do. Icing on Pittsburgh. Past the midway mark in the third period, as we'll have tons of games right in the action. If you're enjoying this BFTI II tour, you'll love the new episodes between episode 24 of the Defeat 1 trilogy of the BFTI Teapot, and for number 25, that'll be the second part during the summer. And never miss out with the Insanity number 6. Hopefully you'll definitely will enjoy it, and we won't tell you about the spoiler warnings. So, if you have not watched it, please go watch it first, once it comes out after the show. Hope this is turning out to be of one favorite crowd. 18-9 face-off wins for Pittsburgh. Contez with another winning draw over Raquel. 9:10 to go in the third period. Whistle lane and again to Michkov. That breaks up and rebounded by Carlson. Penguins back in offense as now Novak will have it. Skating his way down and a save by Dan Bedard. Thomas Novak to Carlson. Blocked by Michkov. Rebound by Witherspoon. Here's Balkin. No pass, give it over. And Bedard will squeeze things here with only 8:16 remaining in the third period. So much to change for it. A lot of time has been appearing things back on track. 8:15 remaining in the third. Now Michkov will clear it out. There'll be another icing on Philadelphia. Just 8 minutes remaining in the third period. They're still looking to get that tie series for Philadelphia, and that will be an answer. Another win for Contez. A back-to-back winning face-off draw. Bucket again to Contez. 7:45 left to go in the third period. There's Contez to swing over again to Tippett. Tippett on the backhander, saved by Skinner, and you will cover things in with only 7:33 remaining in the third. They really are starting to get everybody a chance. I mean, not anybody's doing good after Stuart Skinner. He really could get it all to get that one down. Zegras wins the draw. Puck escapes the zone, and Drysdale will have it to York. Here's Tippett. Knocked him with the swing by Witherspoon. Forster goes back to York. York will give it back to Drysdale. Off to Forster. No change up, back to Chickacott. York will have it. Back to Drysdale. Back to York. You'll get that clearing zone right around the net and rebounded by Witherspoon. Chickacott sends to Carlson. Carlson to swing over to Russ. Penguins back in offensive zone. Russ with the rush. Wheels in. Blocked by Sealer. And the Flyers will get it back. Forster now finds Tippett. With Zegras, gets a swinger and a save by Stuart Skinner. Here's Kindle. Away now for Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. Never saved by Dan Bedard. Folks it, and now Gator Martone. Well, everybody's been watching on Dan Bedard. His powerful save is going to definitely change it over for anybody. I'm definitely with you. Final 5 minutes presented by Discover, and here's Brazu. Back to Sealer again, and now Martone. And there's a chain around the net. Here's Kendall to find Malkin. 4:30 remaining in the third period. Malkin, he shoots one, and a stopping block made by Ristolainen. He'll give a swing off over to Sealer. And Clifton will give it to Brazu. Brazu in zone and covered by Bedard. 4:05 left remaining in the third period. And Pittsburgh are trying to get back down by 2 to get it right down in the lead from 3. The win on the draw. And another blocker saved by Vidal. Marto. Philadelphia back into Pittsburgh territory. Oh, smacking down near the bench. And Dvorak will send it over to Stanley. That is really a nasty play. And afterwards, Stanley was really sure enough that the Flyers really are stoking it out. There's nobody to change it offensively. I'm seriously for sure that they're really trying to get that one knocking away. Guitez. Right to Konechny. He looks to Guitez and now finds Ristolainen. Sanai. He shoots. Another one saved by Stuart Skinner. Gerard now finds Lizette. Under 3 minutes in the third period. Here's Lizette. A Curie. In zone. Blocked by Ristolainen off the glass. Ristolainen to get to Sanai. Lizette changes. Swing and a miss on the fire. And that one shoots it wide. Sanai now finds Barkey with 2 minutes remaining in the third. Barkey stop the bat and we'll get a cover-up with only 2 minutes in the third. All right, the big update for you as Krista B stands by for the best player of the game. Well, I'm going to say that happens with only one change-off, and I'm now noticing that Trevor Sequist made that one with a clearable. This is a great cut for motion there, guys, and now I know Philadelphia is getting a lot of answers in there. The big cheats don't always matter, but when averaged to Trevor Sequist, that's one time in the first period that done it all. I'm really super pleased for Trevor Sequist to change things from top to bottom. Sanai now finds Guitez. Guitez shoots deep, saved by Stuart Skinner, and back to Barkey. Down to a final minute of the
Last minute remaining in the third period.
Guitez stumps that down. Carlson will now find Weatherspoon. And here's another big breakthrough for Chitnikov. Chitnikov in, blocked the shot. Jamie Drysdale goes right to Mitchkov. Guitez keeping it over to Drysdale. Drysdale. Around the net is Barkey. Barkey will get a swing over to Guitez. Now finds the Sanai. Sanai shoots and blocked by Skinner. A big night happens to be with Philadelphia, and they had a great night doing it all. Yeah, I'm definitely telling you about that. Jonathan Ives just plays it perfectionerly, and I love the status of Billy. I mean, now Jonathan Ives already finished. All the other players can go home and celebrate. I mean, that third period was always just the beginning, but for Philadelphia, they'll be able to tie the series up. The win by Raquel. Back to Weatherspoon to Raquel. 20 seconds remaining in the third. And that is going to change it over, and Philadelphia will get a celebration win and Xfinity Bowl Arena. What a night. Always have to say, Philadelphia is never too soon to be done with all the stretch. That's big brotherly love. Flyers now tying the series 4-1 to a final. Well, I don't have to believe on that. That Dan Bernard did everything. That's what you meant to know about it before. It's Big Pie Strong takes. Flyers are going back to Pittsburgh.
In game 2,
I want to give a salute crowd and a roaring fans. Thanks to you teams. We create a ton of time. Yeah, we always say this for the one. Every couple of nights when we start doing this celebration, we've got to understand it. But that's really what everyone is doing. When we say goodnight here in Beverly Walk with Philadelphia, as my broadcasting partners, along with Krista Beast and the first commentary of the crew, thanks for joining us and We'll see you back again next time. And for Lightbulb, and I'm So True. You've been watching Stanley Cup Playoffs of NHL 26 on EA Sports. For more on that, follow the playlist here, and there's plenty more to choose from around for the list. Thank you, and good night. So long, everyone. All right, thank you, there's So True. Time for 3-star players. First star starts with Luke Lennon with 1 goal and 1 kick. He only did that one comfortably to get that scoring drought and a down. Second star player of the game, after deflection, the next player goes to another great. The best is Jamie Drysdale. 2 assists and 4 gets. He got 2 assists in the playoffs of the game, and he only made it once. Right over to Cortez, and for that, backhander on the shot. And tonight's first star player of the game goes to Dan Vladar with only 26 saves in the game, and he really took all of it on the better change. Well, this was a bit unlucky enough for you. Dan Vladar, a big save. Here are your total statistics for the games after the period. It was 43 over 27 shots on goal for Philadelphia, 46 over 19 hits for Pittsburgh, then 1704 over 319 for time on attack for Philadelphia, then 90 over 87 percentage on the Pittsburgh time on attack for the passing effectiveness, 22 over 12 faceoff wins for Pittsburgh, and no power plays is made. Only a 2-minute penalty kill happened to be with Erik Karlsson, and no power play goals with only 2 minutes. Well, that was all it did. I mean, now you know, Philadelphia are going back to Pittsburgh one last time. Yeah, we know. And the battle of this one is going to be all the way down to the finish line. Let's see if hopes and anything changes. And with that, folks, 9:30 p.m. is going to be the start. So if you're tuning us for the next game, I will be sending it over with the next pregame show. And joining us will be Boomer and Jay that will be joining us here for the next pregame show. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and so long for as wild as the NHL 26 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is Lightbrain and Son of Beast. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.
If you don't, somebody will.